Oh, yeah.
Okay, close enough, 7 o'clock for me. Baldwin Planning Board, 10 January 2019, meeting will be in order. We have a quorum, we've got 4 members so far, we may have somebody else walking, who knows? Can we have a reading of the minutes of the last meeting?
Yes. These were written by Joe, just so, you'll have to check. But, Planning Board, Town of Baldwin, December 27th, 2018. Norm Blake called the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Also present was Joe Pierce, who acted as secretary in the absence of Vic Learn and Matt Sanborn. Norm stated that this constituted a quorum. Wait, because Matt was there.
Yes, wasn't it a comma or something?
There's a comma, but yeah, I'm not sure that. We'll have to check with the grammar police.
Please do.
I think that says that me and
You can transpose it if you'd like.
Yeah, okay. An Oxford comma or not, I think there's a debate there. Yeah. Okay. The selectmen and Jerry Brown were in the audience. Jerry Brown was
Gary, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Gary.
Spelling off, but it
I
is
apologize.
We've only known him for 2 years.
You know, as someone who's been called Nicole most of my life, I'm Okay. Okay. Present to represent Nature's Wilderness, John Litton was not able to attend. Jeff Sanborn suggested that the signing of, sorry, take that away. That must have been your O key to that.
Yes,
yeah. Of the agreement on the road be delayed until towards the end of the process, we would include a bond that would guarantee the applicant's adherence to the conditions of the conditional use permit. We started the review of the application on page 6 of the application. The selectmen do not object to the applicant selling beer and wine. We asked for the definition of the size of a cabin. Gary said he would get back to us. Under number 5, adding wording, quote, planning board after Baldwin, section A, quote, a main corporation after corporate name. Number 3, add Gary Brown, 207-409-7724. Number 5, 6, and 7, all is, quote, a main corporation, and attachment number 2 must be changed. Is this a divided lot or a whole lot? Is this map 22, lot 7, or something else? Primitive recreation does not include ATVs or dirt bikes. The applicant will add ATV trails and dirt bike trails to the list. Number 11, Northwest or NW, Nature's Wilderness, will not charge anything for ATVs. Once again, we recommended they hire a Maine lawyer. Page 8, 1A, or is that a double?
Yeah, that's page 8, 1A.
Okay, page 8, 1A is how many acres. 1 to 16 questions were asked about or 116 is the section.
Yeah.
Questions were asked about the traffic study in the intersection of Senator Black Road and 113. Ask NDOT about the safety of the intersection with the projected traffic. We continued through the application, making suggestions here and there. We finished with tab 1. We talked with Wes about the importance of making reports on his activities easily available to the planning board and the public. He said he would come up with a way to do that. Matt moved that we adjourn. Joe seconded the motion. Adjourned 8:30.
Questions, comments on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes as read? Appears to be unanimous. Okay, I'm gonna take one item out of order tonight because it's short. On the matter of the Buckley property on Depot Road, Town of Baldwin sold a little triangle of land, more or less across from the Kingsley residence, to a Mr. Buckley, and apparently, I hope so, sold it to him on quick claim deed. I have here in the mail, addressed to the planning board from Mr. Buckley, and this is a copy of his application to the Saco River Corridor Commission to construct a new single-family residence on that property, lot 23, map 6. They go backwards on their forms, but that's okay. And the application was filed with the commission on the 27th day of December last. You can have the whole darn thing. Yeah, that's his address there if you want. This was brought up a couple nights ago at the Selectmen's Workshop meeting. There is a problem in that there is a significant disagreement about the boundaries of the property. It's not a matter of inches, it's a matter of yards. I have seen a copy of the Saco River Corridor Commission thing, not that it applies to much of Baldwin, but, they asked for a description of the property in an application. Baldwin Planning Board does the same thing. And we asked for a map and lot number, which we know. We asked for a copy of the deeds to assert, ownership of it. And we asked for a scale drawing with dimensions of all the dimensions of the lot and what is going on at where. Knowing that there is a property disagreement of significant dimensions, the Baldwin Planning Board cannot accept the item of a description of the meets and bounds and all the sizes of the property can't be done. Wes, have you been in touch with Mr. Buckley to inform him of that yet?
No, I probably haven't been in contact with him for almost 2 weeks.
Okay. If you would get that information to him, that's something he needs to know. That until he and the owners of the next door property with whom they have a discussion can sort things out, either amicably in person or in front of the judge, however they want to do it. Baldwin Planning Board. Saco River Corridor Commission can do what they want. Baldwin Planning Board just can't look at it. Danielle?
I'm sorry, this is the property where we talked about making an exception because of the grandfather.
If it has to be done, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Danielle gave, Ruth Pertinen, who was one of the owners of the property, there's 3 kids that own it. Kids. Anyway, and she was in touch with me and she had requested information on it, and I informed her, via email that they need to sort it out themselves. And I indicated that until they sorted it out either amicably between themselves or in court, that the town of Baldwin had essentially no interest in it. Because again, they can't define what they got and they can't agree on things. I also noted that just stalling on the thing forever is probably not an acceptable tactic, because the fellow, Mr. Buckley, who wishes to build a property, can always take civil action and goose things along that. So it's in their ballpark, and it's in their court until they can sort it out, and then we'll have everybody back here. Let the activity begin. Any questions on that?
Well, this gentleman went back to the town, but gave him a quick claim deed.
I sure hope we gave him a quick claim and not a warranty. I think we did, didn't we, Dwight?
I think it's pretty quick one.
Yeah. So it ain't our ball game anymore. We ain't got a dog in that fight. Mrs. Kingsley, you had your hand in the air briefly?
Yes, so if, this goes through, they get a permit from the Saco River Corridor Commission that it's okay for them to build it. The property dispute gets amicably or whatever resolved. Can then Mr. Buckley come back? Will they have to go through the planning board
Yes.
in order to put a structure on
Yes,
that?
they would.
Okay,
Again, they need to get their act together, and until then, you know, it's not our dogfight.
okay. All right, but it will go through the planning board though.
Yes. Yes.
As we discussed in the selectmen meeting, there's 3 hurdles that Leo has to go through. Get approved by Saco River,
Yep.
get approved by planning board, and get the boundaries straightened out.
Well, not in that order. Right now.
Yeah, okay.
Right now, Saco River Corridor Commission can ask for boundaries first or second, it's their thing. So Saco River, and then boundaries, and then Baldwin.
Fine,
But boundaries has gotta be ahead of coming to Baldwin.
okay.
And like I say,
Yeah,
it's gonna be it's not gonna be fun, it's in their ballpark.
yeah.
That's that,
All right,
understand?
anything else? I will keep reading the, online stuff and all the setbacks and everything. You would discuss that when it's time.
Yeah,
Okay, no problem.
and I'm not sure there will be anything online for a
Oh,
long
no,
time
no,
because it's
just
not
the-
before the planning board.
Yeah, no, I meant all of the
Just the land use
setbacks and all the regulations, all the.
Oh, sure,
things
yeah,
that-
yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
All right,
Great reading.
all right, great reading.
Okay,
Love it.
next item.
Thank you.
I spoke today with our town clerk, Debbie, and she informed me that Gary Brown has taken out papers to be a selectman, has turned in requisite number of signatures. And I guess it's good that there's well, you do have some gray hair, but it's good that somebody that's not a retired senile old bugger is actually running for something in this town.
Doodle on you tonight, you know.
You were a young man when you started out. However, this brings up serious complications. There are now coming before us questions of conflict of interest. And I've made some notes, and we're gonna have to go through this tonight. There's two phases of conflict of interest, and this is way beyond what I know, because we're gonna have to seek legal advice. But phase one is the candidacy. Between now and town meeting, you are a candidate for selectman. You're not a selectman yet, but you are. Here's Jeffrey. But you have seriously declared your intention to be one. Phase two is assuming your successful election to selectman. That complicates things perhaps even more. What I want the planning board to do is, and what I would like for us to do is to come up with a list of questions to ask David Laurie, our town attorney. And we'll not only have a list of questions, but there'll be a item at the end asking him to tell us other stuff that we need to know, but we didn't know enough to ask in the beginning. I'll start in no particular order, but kind of starting in phase one, the candidate. I think we're gonna have to ask the candidate for a official disclosure of his relationship to Nature's Wilderness. And, not tonight, but, we're gonna have to know the exact relationship with Nature's Wilderness, employee, partner, partial partner, whatever. And we'll have to have some sort of sworn or certification, item of that. In what little I know about, Maine conflict of interest laws, that's called disclosure. And it's pretty much standard thing. Another question during the phase one, the candidacy, phase, should we go forward with consideration of the application for the Nature's Wilderness Campground, or should we table it? I don't know.
You mean during the candidacy?
During the candidacy phase.
So make sure.
And that's,
Danielle contacted MMA today,
yeah,
and they informed that there is no conflict of interest.
I'd like to hear that from our lawyer.
Well, MMA,
Yeah.
he's from the head lawyer from MMA, and there's no conflict of interest.
At which stage? Just the candidacy stage, or?
At the candidacy stage. If he gets elected, it's a different ballgame.
Yeah.
He's gotta recuse himself from everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now,
Well, I'll read this, it's fairly brief. It says, this is from Llewellyn, Senior Staff Attorney, MMA. Dear Danielle, under Maine law, a conflict of interest exists if an official has a direct or indirect financial interest in a matter pending before that official. If a conflict of interest does exist, the official is required to disclose the conflict and abstain from any and all participation in the matter as an official. Under the circumstances you described, by definition, there cannot be a conflict of interest at the present time because the individual in question is not yet an individual. He is only a candidate for office. Huh?
He's still an individual.
He's still an individual, yeah.
No, I understand.
Yes. However, even if elected and sworn in as a selectman in March, he would have no conflict of interest in this matter, the proposed campground, unless it required some sort of action by the Board of Selectmen. Any participation by him in any planning board proceedings concerning this proposal would be in his personal, not in his official capacity. Thus, he would have the right to do so, provided he does so as a private individual and not as either a selectman or representative of the Board of Selectmen. I hope this information is clear and helpful. Please let me know if I can be of further assistance. I do hesitate somewhat to disagree on a point with Mr. Llewellyn, but 30A-2605 is the Maine law that deals with conflict of interest. And there's a .6 in there that talks about avoidance of any appearance of conflict of interest. I think that in order to protect the integrity of the town, the planning board, and the applicant, the small town. Can I finish the sentence?
Oh, yeah,
I'll get you in a minute.
yeah, thanks.
I guess a small town is no different than a big town. There is going to be the assumption in some corners that there is skullduggery and collusion and all sorts of bad things going on. I think asking these questions and getting them sorted out again by our town attorney is worth doing. Would you have to? So, Josiah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you can run on sometimes.
That's why I get paid the big bucks.
So I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think, selectmen have to be allowed to be in business in town.
Yeah.
And, I think that, the disclosure is a good thing. But, and I can understand saying that somebody who is a candidate and, does not have a conflict of interest. I think it becomes tricky if Gary does get elected selectman, but I think you gotta be able to be in business in town and be a selectman, because I like to see, we all like to see people in business.
Yeah.
I can think of one right now who's in business in town and is a selectman. That makes sense to me too. It just becomes tricky.
Yeah. And especially where Gary has a large and significant action before the planning board. And unfortunately, because there has been a history of, I won't go so far as to say violations to that tonight, but misunderstandings and disagreements. It doesn't look good to the public. What were you gonna say, Ron?
I was gonna say what you just said. What we talked about Tuesday, there's a real separation and independence between the planning board and the selectmen, and so on and so forth. But in my role, if I cite Nature's Wilderness with a violation and cannot resolve it amicably, then I pass it on to the selectmen then there may be a conflict of interest.
Yeah, because basically, as I understand it, the selectmen own you. If you do something good, they take the credit for it. If you do something bad, they take the blame.
That's right.
So if Gary were to be elected selectman, and you were to cite Nature's Wilderness, You'd be citing your employer,
your boss.
But what
which
they're
would
saying
seem to
is
me
he
to be
would
a
have to
difficult thing.
recuse himself from that, right?
Yeah.
As long as he recruits himself, he has nothing to
Yeah,
do
you,
with it, then there's nothing wrong with it.
I know there's nothing wrong with it, but boy, the sure the appearance to the layman out there in the world.
I guess,
I mean, we do everything, I'll be with you in a minute, we do, pretty much in this town, people do everything right. And you, well, how many do you, 24 years,
30 years.
30 years? People, there's probably a number of people that think you're a skunk and a terrible person, cause they,
Definitely. Don't question
you know?
Don't question it.
That's gonna be tears.
Huh? I know, but
Yeah.
it tears down confidence in government. You know, I've lost a few friends on account of being on this board.
Of course.
Way to go. Gary, you wanna say something?
If I'm just an employee at the campground, what difference does that make? If I step down from the planning board meetings, send a lawyer to cover this.
Yeah.
There's no
Gary, I'm asking these questions not to put you in a bad position, but I'm asking these questions to get them right out on the table where everybody can see them, because you solve the problem early rather than let it grow into a disease.
Right.
You told me you had 10% of the action. So that's different from being just an employee. That's why we need this disclosure, that's all.
That's a verbal agreement between Scott and I, that's not in writing. And if we're talking about conflict of interest, right,
Okay.
We have filed a suit against Mr. Pierce about land disputes. I'd like to ask to have Mr. Pierce recuse himself.
Okay, that's a separate issue. That's not in order at this time. Please take it back.
well, is your question, am I running for selectman a planning board issue?
It is if I choose to make it so. Because I am talking about getting to the bottom of conflict of interest and to protect us all from appearance of conflict of interest. And you come up with this vindictive crap.
It is not.
I know what game you're playing.
It's not a game, sir.
Has this been filed? Nothing's been filed.
It will be tomorrow.
There you go.
Let you know that.
It means nothing.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
We were together on the 27th of December. I'm just curious why you didn't share with us the news that you had decided to run for selectman. I thought we were starting to have a business relationship, a talking relationship. Huh?
I thought we was too.
And if you'd come out and said, hey, this is where I'm going, I think it would be a whole lot easier. We've got a lot of work to do together, you and this board. And we've got to be able to have a trusting and respectful relationship.
And I'm putting myself out there to be part of this board, this community, this town.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I would like the planning board to engage the advice of our attorney, David Laurie. I would poll the rest of the board. We can do it informally, and then we can take a vote. That way we won't have to waste too much time. Josiah, you think that's something we should do or not do?
I don't think we need to do it until after the election. If Gary is voted in as selectman, then I think we need legal advice. I think, I don't think we need
That's
legal
enough.
advice until then.
Nickel, what do you think? What do you think?
I certainly agree with Joe about if he is a selectman. I'm still a little unclear about candidacy. I mean, it seems like this letter says we're probably okay.
Yeah.
I like that we're discussing it and putting it in the
Yeah.
minutes, putting it up there, but I would agree that it's probably not a conflict until then.
Matt, what do you think?
Let's see.
And by the way, you're a voting member tonight because the quorum numbers.
Actually, I'm always a vote member, because I'm not an alternate anymore.
That's right, you got elevated, I didn't see the stripes.
I don't know, I mean, honestly, Gary, I think it was the wrong time for you to run, that's my personal opinion, because we're going through all this right now, it's gonna make it complicated, more complicated. I know you have something to say, opinions, you know, related to that, but I think it makes things, I think we were moving forward, we're starting to feel like things were moving forward, everybody was civil to each other, and I don't understand exactly why you decide now is the time to run for selectmen. But, you know, it's not for me to say, I'm talking to Gary now, because I've known you for a long time. I think it was a bad idea. But, as far as talking to a lawyer, I think definitely get questions together, see what happens in March. It just, you know, we do this out of our own, we don't get paid anything to do this, so we come here, we give you our time, give the town our time, and it's gonna make it more difficult, and obviously, I feel like we've taken 2 or 3 steps back by you doing that, so. But that's just my personal opinion as of right now. I don't understand really what your reasons are for wanting to run. I'm hoping that they're
genuine, they absolutely are.
Okay.
There's no ulterior motives.
Okay.
My eyes have been open to a lot of things in this town,
Yep.
and I just feel like I'd like to be part of it.
Okay. Alright, well, that's good. That's good to hear. It was just, I was surprised, I heard about it yesterday, and I was just surprised that with as much as we have going on, that you would decide that was the right thing to do.
I didn't think one to join would be a step back. I want to be part of it.
Right. Nope, fine. Okay. It definitely lends itself to being conflicts of interest. Until we get through this process and you get running, and, you know, and that type of thing, and once the campground's open and everybody's happy, you know, because once we get beyond this, it's gonna be pretty much smooth sailing.
Right.
But, you know, it's not for me to say that you shouldn't run right now, but that's my personal feelings on it.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Accept it.
There you go.
Is that a yes or a no?
What's your sense of a lawyer regarding his candidacy?
As the lawyer, not until he's probably, I mean, we can certainly, do we wanna spend the money until he's actually a selectman, or?
Asking for your opinion.
Yep.
Everybody gets an opinion.
I don't think we need to contact the lawyer yet.
I think we have an ethical problem. Which, you know, I disagree with you guys, I disagree with the selectmen. For 30 years, I think the planning board has done a very good job of keeping their noses clean, not running the old boy buddy system. I can see now that my views are divergent, maybe I'm way too naive, and maybe I'm oversensitive about issues of ethics. I think it's time for me to part company. Effective immediately, I resign as chairman of the Baldwin Planning Board. And effective immediately, I resign as a regular member of the planning board. I wish you all the best of luck in carrying on with this effort. No, I'm done. I'll shoot out an email tomorrow. Jeffrey. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Don. Jeff. See you around.
Yeah.
That's also be reconsidered, huh?
I won't. I'm done. This has been, I respect your decisions too, but I've got my own.
Thank you for your service.
Take care.
Thank you.
Norm, I will say,
There's no ulterior motive. You don't need to be upset about this.
I'm
You're
not
doing it for
upset.
just
I'm not.
a good reason.
I hope so. Take care.
Norm, can I just ask, like, we didn't even vote, I'm open to hearing more of why.
No, we don't need a vote.
Yeah, I mean,
Take care all. Thanks very much.
That was building for a long time.
Yeah, I think it has been.
Well, I think we, should just call it a night for, as far as this goes, we'll review it and unless you want to keep going.
Who's, are you the next one on, Joe?
I am not an officer.
David Strauch would be the next.
David
one.
Strauch, isn't he?
And then the secretary
And the
after
secretary.
David, yeah.
Alright, so did I hear a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
Well, a motion to adjourn is non-debatable, but I would, I'm not seconding it.
I'll withdraw the motion.
Officer or not, I'm still gonna defer to you in this moment without a speak.
Well, I'm kind of, yes, Gary.
Right. As the applicant, I'd like to table my application, while it all can settle down. If that makes it easy for you guys, I'm fine with that, stepping out tonight, letting everything work through.
So you're saying table your application?
So actually, Gary, I've been through this before about tabling things. And in America, we have to table to a date certain. We can't just table things.
Okay.
So if you want to request us to table your application, then tell us when you would like to have it tabled until.
Our next meeting.
I'd like to table it to the 24th,
Okay.
let everything work its way out.
Okay. That's according to my computer calendar.
I could go with that if the applicant, wishes to see his application tabled till our next meeting. I could move that.
Joe, can I just say something real quick, regards to the letter from MMA? Mr. Llewellyn is the senior legal.
I thought,
You've talked to him before, and he's good. We go to him for a lot of stuff because, you know, if we go to David, he's charging by the minute, and they don't.
that's why I talked to him before.
And we've disagreed with them on some things and going to David, but usually the outcome is always the same, and I guess that's the point that I wanna make.
Well, that was why I said I didn't see any need to go to a lawyer until after town meeting.
Right, then if we have concerns, okay, but.
You worry about, then you worry about after town meeting,
That's right.
Yeah.
He's Joe Citizen right now, he's always Joe Citizen until he gets voted in.
Yeah.
So, although, well, by consensus, you are also in favor of tabling?
Yes, well, we had a motion and a second.
Well, I'm willing to say that, yes.
Okay.
We all are in agreement.
Yeah. Okay.
But I didn't want to adjourn because, we're presented with a problem at this point as to how we proceed as a planning board, because Norm, was more than just a chair of the planning board. And, he's been upset about a number of things that have gone on. And, so we need a chairman.
You need an election, don't you?
What?
You're gonna need another election, aren't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, we need a chairman,
Yeah.
exactly. So the 5 regular members of the board, well, now 4, would be Matt, you, myself, and David. Freddie and Glenn are the alternates.
Fred is still an alternate.
He's never given us a resignation.
So he's still an active member.
I mean, he said he was done, but he's never had anything in writing.
One of the problems with filling positions when we're faced with something like this, where if it was a subdivision, which is another complicated thing, as Matt, and you know from recently joining the board, it takes more than a meeting or two to be up to speed.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about getting new members for that reason, because, we should give Gary serious consideration rather than consideration of somebody who says, oh, well, I think, you know, because they just came on the board. So this is gonna be a discussion between us.
Okay.
We need a chair, and it's between David, Matt, you, or me. And I have been trying extremely hard not to be an officer of the planning board. Partly because I think younger people should be doing it, and partly because I just try not to be officer on boards anymore. I'm trying to get rid of that in my life.
I would say that, that you should have convinced Norm to stay. No, I think
I've been
that,
doing it for a while.
I think for what, the reason you said, right, that to be, especially the chair, it's someone who, I think, ideally has been doing this for years. So to me, I would want to table the discussion until we have David present,
Okay.
right? Because he's someone who certainly has a lot more experience than some of us. And I don't know, has he been the chair in the past?
Yes, he has.
So, you know, what's his level of commitment? I know he often can't make meetings, but maybe he could. Maybe, I feel like that's a big thing for anyone to commit to right now. That's something we need to discuss. And it sounds like we probably need another member, or we're supposed to have 5.
We are, but as I say, I'm not anxious
Sure.
for that, because unless Kurt was volunteering, that would be the only.
Want me to hold his hand up for you?
Yeah, we just-
What are they talking about?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I will, I'll get a hold of David. David's reason for not being, chairman, is that he practices a lot of law outside of the state of Maine. And so he can be down in Massachusetts driving home when we're meeting.
I mean, I guess I would summarize by saying we probably have all good reasons why we should do.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
I have small child and own a business that's an hour away.
Yeah.
You're trying to do that.
I'm just,
Yeah. That just leaves you.
Yeah.
And I would think it would be a real imposition on Matt, who, this is maybe
Yeah.
fifth meeting of this that you've come to.
Yeah, I will speak for myself. That was surprising enough for me. Maybe you saw it coming back.
I didn't see it coming.
I need to let that marinate a little bit before we make any decisions. Because I've learned anything in this country watching politics and studying history, you shouldn't make big decisions when something shocking happens.
Oh, okay. I've heard about this coming, even I could have discussions about it, why and so forth. But, yeah. Okay, I will, I'll get a hold of David and I'll try to, talk to him about it. And, could I have, Norm's agenda? Let's see if there's anything else he thought we should do.
Yeah. Property or term.
Yeah, okay, so we covered everything there. Now, Gary, what can I do for you?
Lee J. Feldman, Southern Maine Regional Planning.
Yeah?
You're familiar with what he does, correct?
Yeah.
Instead of hiring a lawyer for the taxes, the tax money from the town, I'm offering to hire Lee J. Feldman, to be a representative for the town, and help us through this process.
Okay, so, I understand, we did talk about this.
I was gonna present that tonight at the meeting, unfortunately.
So, let me ask you to not state it that way. The way you would say it is that you would pay for us to hire
Yes.
Okay, it's an important distinction to me, okay? And I would, we had talked about that before, and, we'll take that under consideration. I don't think that the board is in any shape to make any decisions right now.
It's just something else to think about,
Yep.
honestly.
I've seen this happen a couple of times in my work career. You know, a general manager, all of a sudden, from the big office down in Portsmouth, they'll come in, walk him to his truck, or put him in their own vehicle and take him home. He's done, he's completed. So it might, my suggestion to you is breathe a little might, take a little might of time, let things settle down, and then, I think you're on the right track, but I think you just need some time to shake down.
And then Gary, I'll tell you my reaction to this, piece of paper behind us. I don't think that I should recuse myself just because you guys are threatening to sue me or because you, after you have sued me, because then that would just prove to be a way to pick people off the board. And, so I don't see it as a conflict of interest. See, my point of view is that you guys are claiming my land. And, you know, I think you're wrong.
That will be dealt with between.
Exactly. This is no place to settle that. So it's not a conflict of interest, it's something else entirely. Okay? So a motion to adjourn is in order.
Would you like me to make the motion?
I think you're nominated, yeah,
I move we adjourn.
yeah, and I'll second that.
All right, agree.
Adjourned.